Okay, so good afternoon, students. So, uh, as we have discussed regarding the big data overview and then the big data life cycle, data analytics life cycle, then the analytics problem. Okay, now we are going to see these are the things the data analytics life cycle that we have seen. Now we are going to study regarding the R language. What are the basic features of the R language and why you should study the R language? Okay, so that we are going to see right now. So this is the brief history regarding R language. Okay, so R language is developed by these people, Ross and Robert. Okay, Ross and Robert at the University of Auckland, New Zealand, and currently it is getting developed by the core team of R. And by the way, it is freely available under the GNU General Public License, and you can freely utilize this software. R is a free software distributed under the GNU style copy left and official part of the GNU project. Okay. Now, how this and why to study? First of all, why to study this R language? Okay. So R is a very powerful statistical tool. You can say you can program very well using the R programming language, the features which are required for the statistical analytics analysis of the data. That means whenever as we are collecting huge amount of data and we are trying to analyze the data, then at that point of time this R language is very useful language. Okay, so a large group of individuals have also contributed because it is open source. As it is freely available, you can utilize, you can redevelop and redistribute. And from 1997, our core team takes care of these. Okay, so as stated earlier, these are the tools or the software environment for the statistical analysis and the graphical representation. And the other important features of R language is that it is a well developed, simple, effective programming language which includes the loops and other functions which are available in any procedure oriented language like C or object oriented language like C++ or Java. So it has these looping and conditional statements are available, and it is having the capability of handling the data in a very effective manner. So you can say that whenever you require to process the data, uh, you you get failed while processing that data. If you try to process the huge amount of data using the C language, then you might not be able to do it in a very efficient manner. Why? Because there are by default the C language is not designed to deal with the huge amount of data. It has its own pros and cons. C language, as you know, C language is very good language whenever you want to interact with the hardware or whenever you want to develop any system level programming, that is good enough. But when it comes that you need to deal with huge amount of data, then at that point of time, these procedure oriented language or object oriented languages may not be efficiently processing the data. So R from that point of view is very very effective in data handling and the storage. Okay, it provides the suite of operators and the calculations on array, list, vectors, matrices. All these things are inbuilt. There are n number of functions available uh, in this language, wherein you can do number of analytics functions, analytical jobs, using very very few lines of codes. Okay, so R provides a large coherent and integrated collections of tools for the data analysis. So it has number of packages, it has number of functions which are inbuilt, and you can just plug and play with these kind of features. That means you are ready to use those features because they are readily inbuilt available for you to do the analysis. No need to write the things from scratch. Why? Because you are able to get all these required feature in a uh, automized manner, that is they are already inbuilt in that language itself. It provides the graphical facilities for data analytics and the display of these things, either to print it or to display it on the your visual display unit. Okay, so as a conclusion, R is world's most widely used statistical programming language. It is number one choice for the data scientist and supported by the very broad community because it is the open source language. Okay, so these are some of the features of R that makes this programming language very very efficient enough to deal with the statistical analytics on the data, huge amount of data. Now as such, as far as your syllabus is concerned, again now it has certain things to remember, that